Boom, boom,
All right. Hi, everyone. This is Alease Michelle, your social media branding expert. And today I have, or this evening, I'm sorry, I have Alex B. Jones, and I am going to allow him to introduce himself, tell you a little bit about himself.
What up?
I know. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about
Right.
myself. Will you let me do this? Okay. And we're going to talk about tonight marketing mistakes to avoid. So let me go ahead and let Alex introduce himself and let you know and tell you a little bit about himself.
Well, everybody, again, my name is Alex B. Jones. I am a business performance coach specializing in working with salon suite owners, people who are in the beauty industry, particularly salon suite owners, but also people who booth renters and independent contractors, as well as salon owners. So that's my particular area of expertise. However, I can, no matter what industry you're in, I can help your business perform better. And so that's who I am, and that's what I do.
Awesome. So tonight, everyone, I see that Walter has joined us. Hey, Walter, how you doing? We want to talk a little bit about marketing mistakes that to avoid, and some of the mistakes that we've made, and then we'll open up the lines for you to join in and share with us what your thoughts are, some mistakes you've made, or just ask us some questions. So I want to go ahead and start off with Alex and say, Alex, what is some of the marketing mistakes that a new entrepreneur should avoid?
Well, one of the mistakes I think that so many people make often is actually looking for the magic bullet. Most people, oftentimes, I hear people always asking the question, how can I market my business better? What can I do to get my name out there? How can I get more customers and clients? And, it's the same question, but people are continually asking that question over and over and over again, as if to say everything else that they already know or everything that they're doing doesn't work. And that's absolutely not true. So I think one of the biggest mistakes that whether they be people who are just getting started or people who've been in their business for a long time is looking for that magic bullet, that one thing that's going to bring in tons of clients, and they don't ever have to market themselves again, ever. And I think that's a very, very big mistake, because there's no such thing as a magic bullet.
Right. It's several things. Some people say don't put your eggs all in one basket, right?
Yep.
I totally agree with that. And so I suggest to my clients, and I know you do to yours, that you have to look at different avenues of marketing yourself. Yes, traditional marketing is great, but of course, social media marketing is outstanding to get and reach the masses out there. So I try to say to people, they might say, which one should I get on? Facebook, Instagram. And I say, do the 80-20 rule, 80% of on a site that you're really comfortable with, and 20% on another site that you got to figure out and maneuver a little bit before you actually, find where you're comfortable at.
Yeah. And, it's, you want to say, diversifying. I'm a little bit different. I honestly believe that, when people find something that absolutely works for them, that they can be consistent with, and that they're getting results, when we start spreading our time, efforts, and money across different social media platforms, whether it be, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or what have you, or offline, whether we start doing print versus radio, I think we begin to lose our power a little bit. So, while you may not want to put all your eggs in one basket, I certainly believe focusing in on a couple of key platforms is definitely a way for you to become more well-known and get more immersed within that particular audience, rather than trying to spread yourself too thin, and you're not getting the kind of the kind of return and the kind of exposure that you would really like to get.
We had a question mark about dilution or spreading yourself thin. I totally get that. Sometimes being on multiple sites can spread yourself thin, but I think if you overall have a goal in mind, or why you're marketing, what your purpose is, to go out there on these different sites with that purpose in mind. So Alex and I both are on Blab for that particular reason, is to reach a massive audience, to connect with influencers like yourself who are on with us, and then to get some feedback to make our brand and our market and our services better. So I'm on here, and we're on here for a reason, for a purpose. And then we're on Facebook for the same reason. We do traditional marketing like guest speaking for that same exact reason. So I think when you stay focused on the purpose why you're using this, it's very hard to dilute what you're doing. I don't know if any of you have heard about Grant Cardone. We talked about him last week and how much we love him. And he has a book called The 10X Rule. And he believes in whatever you're doing, 10X it, right? If you only posting one time a week, then you need to 10X that effort. And so I put that rule in mind when I do my marketing, and when I put my stuff out there. I'm out there. I want to be seen and known. So yeah, I might dilute a little thing here and there, but I think I'm reaching a wider audience. Just like a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to someone in Ghana. Okay, I'm in South Carolina, and I'm talking to someone in Ghana. I mean, amazing how your influence and your marketing can reach such a wide range.
Yeah. So, overall, I think that, there are obviously so many, different approaches you can take, so many different ways that you can, slice a pie. And at the end of the day, one of the other mistakes that I think that many of us don't do is once we decide what exactly we want to go and where, what do we want to do and what we want to focus on, we have to make sure we have some measure for knowing if we're being successful or not. I think that's an absolute mistake that many of us oftentimes make. First of all, when we choose a platform or a medium, so let's ask the question. How do I define success on this particular platform? Is it going to be by the number of likes I receive? Is it about the amount of engagement beyond the likes? Is it about, quite honestly, is it about how much money we actually receive, or how many clients we actually get from it? So, when you pick a platform, how do we decide what exactly is going to be the measure by which we measure our success? And I think that's one of the things that we don't do. How do we do it? And Walter made a very, very good comment that I was going to allude to. He alluded to something that I was going to talk about a little bit later. Let's see. Let me go back. He said, biggest mistake is not building relationships in social media and not creating an email campaign. That's what Walter actually shared. I absolutely agree, Walter. Absolutely agree. And a little bit.
Email campaigns are essential. I mean, start gathering emails right off, because if any of these social media sites just go away, we at least still have our contacts with within our email list. And so just being on social media, just being here with no purpose is not worth it, right? And so Alex talked about, measuring what you are doing, how many likes you're getting, how many clients you're getting, how many people you add to your email list is essential. And I think a lot of new entrepreneurs and some who have been around a long time don't even measure their results. They don't even know their numbers, Yeah. So when someone asks them, how many leads are you getting from Facebook, or how many leads are you getting from Twitter, you should be able to regurgitate that right off the bat without even stuttering, or at least be able to know where to go and get it.
Right? Yeah. And being a numbers guy, My background before working in the beauty industry, which is where I concentrate my efforts in now. Before working in the beauty industry, I was actually in finance and marketing. And one of the things that we absolutely wanted to do each and every time we started a project or we wanted to start an audit, whatever we were doing, we always wanted to ask ourselves first, how do we define success? What is the scope that we're going to have, right? And so, any marketing you do, whether it be marketing where you're using your time or whether you're using your money, whatever resource you're investing, you want to know exactly, okay, what return am I looking for? And ultimately, if we're in business there's a profit motive here, obviously. We're here to make money. So you always want to ask yourself, what is my conversion rate? How many people did I actually get in front of? How many leads did I get? And understanding how much did it cost me per lead and per conversion. So I don't know if any people are using Facebook and Facebook ads. And that's one of the things I always wanted to know. Okay, how much money did we spend? How much did it cost us per lead? All right. And then how much did it cost us per conversion? And based on our conversion amounts, how much did we receive back? And those are numbers that are very, very key and very important, no matter if it's Facebook or radio. It doesn't matter.
Walter made a comment about Google Analytics, and I'm going to open up a seat.
Yes,
I would
absolutely.
love you to join in, Walter, and talk to us about how you use Google Analytics to measure your results. I use Google Analytics, but I'm gonna be honest. Some of that stuff is confusing to me, so I would love to hear your advice on how you use it and how we can use it better in our business. So go ahead and jump on. And I think we have, I can't see W.
Yeah, that's Walter. Walter.
Walter. And then
he's not able to talk because he has a sore throat. So, I'm sorry to hear about that, Walter. We'd love to hear your comments because you've actually made several great ones. And with Google Analytics, that's something that's that can be a little technical. And a little hard for some people to understand. So we would love to hear more of how you're using that at some point.
My fingers still work. Yes, you can type in.
All right. Yes, awesome. Yes. Great. My fingers work, so I'm gonna give you a thumbs up on that one. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate that. So we do have a seat open. If someone would like to call in, we'd love to hear from you. You have a comment or a question, we'd love to. We have a seat open, and we'd love to hear from you.
So Alex and I can talk all day about all this kind of stuff. So please, especially Alex. Alex can go a lot.
One of the mistakes that I made early on when I was just kind of getting in the salon business was this is a while ago. So this is when radio still has a presence. But I did an ad, a 30-second, a 60-second spot on radio. And it was a mistake for me. And I'll share with you why. One of the things that I thought that I had really done, I really understood who my market was. So I looked at radio. I said, okay, these are the people who I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to reach women in a certain age bracket. In a certain age range. So I didn't go on the hip hop station. I went on the station that was a little bit more mature. And I put my ads out there and I got little to no results. And the thing that I understood later was I actually didn't have enough frequency. And that rule still applies today on social media. So a lot of times we have people who will say, man, I got a Facebook page, and every so often they'll get on it and they'll make a comment. Every so often they might post or promote something. And, that's just absolutely, you're not getting the bang for your buck if you're not consistently staying out there and talking to people and letting people engage with you and build a relationship.
Okay, we do have Spy Gadget Rentals joining us. Oh, awesome.
Hello there. How you
What's
doing?
up, Spy?
Hey, how you in the car? You in the car?
I
driving?
run a mobile.
Are you being
Listen,
safe?
I'm not driving.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Wait a
don't
minute.
dri-
I see
I
something
don't-
going on.
I get somebody else to drive.
All
Oh,
right.
that's good.
Yeah, you got to know when you run a mobile business. I mean, to truly run a mobile business, you're gonna move around, right?
We got to be mobile.
So people got to get used to the idea that nowadays, you got these fancy devices, and you can literally move around and be going on the go. So you got to get used to that.
Hey, Monty, did you ever see that movie with what's the guy's name in that movie?
What's the theme of the plot or something?
No, it was he was a videographer, and he was what's the guy's name? He was also in Southpaw, the movie.
Which one? Southpaw?
He was in Southpaw. Gosh, what is that?
Let me see. You thinking about
Yeah.
thinking
Is
about
that the reporter?
Yes.
Not Cuba Gooding Jr.
No, not Cuba.
No?
This guy. Gosh.
Oh,
you know what?
Khadidris put his name as Jake.
That's right. Jake Gyllenhaal. He was in the movie.
No, I don't remember that name. Really?
Man, make sure that you check out that movie. I'm telling you,
Which movie? What's the name of it?
I'm looking it up now for you.
Oh, okay, yeah, we gotta make a movie. We always make
Khadidris, you remember what the movie is?
I'm gonna let you know here in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Movie list.
Oh, she can't remember either.
Nightcrawler.
Yes.
Nightcrawler.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you watch it, I'm not even gonna tell you, Monty. Promise me you're gonna watch that one. You're gonna love it.
Okay, Nightcrawler. Tell my sister now. We're gonna be on the lookout for Nightcrawler.
Yes, sir.
Monty,
do you have a question for?
It is great.
Or a comment?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, you really have to make sure that when you have all these social networking sites that we use nowadays, you got to be active on them. And my general rule of thumb is if you don't get kicked out or get threatened to get kicked off of one of them for being too aggressive, you're not doing a good job. So yeah, be aware of the fact that somebody's going to threaten you. or
you know when to dial it back, huh? You're just gonna push the limits.
Hey, you got to push the limits. You got to get out there, and you got to put your name and your face and your products and keep them out there, because there's 9 million posts coming before and after yours, and you will get pushed out of sight really quickly. So, that's my 2 cents.
Yes, sir. Monty, we absolutely love it. I believe if you watch that movie, you will absolutely love it, especially for what you do. So
I'm going to be on the lookout. Thanks. Nightcrawler. Okay, I'm going to be on the sideline listening in and see what's happening here, okay? I just logged in.
All right, thank you for joining.
Okay, all right.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
William.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, William.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, you sound like you're on the radio, bro.
No, not yet. Hey, I like you guys to talk. I like what you're talking about, and I had some ideas, but before I got a chance to get on, Mr. Alex Jones covered a few of them, but I have a few that I wrote down, and I have to write them down because I guess one of the traits of being an entrepreneur, you get all these different ideas that just float in the air, come to you, and disappear. So
yeah.
When I first got on here, my intention was to become familiar with a lot of the people on here, and I think I've gotten to that point, but I had probably a blab scheduled for each day this week, and I realized that I didn't have a purpose or maybe a call to action, and I felt 2 things. It was unfair for the audience who actually came and paid attention and gave that time, because it kind of left them empty-handed after it was over. And in addition to that, on my side, I do want to monetize and do this as a living. And either way, call to action to maybe lead them through a funnel or onto another platform wasn't there. So I went ahead and unscheduled those, and I'm working on like some back end stuff now in terms of a call to action. So I think a purpose for every step is one thing that maybe marketers don't make the mistake of not having. The second thing would be reinvestment into yourself. And what I mean by that is coaches, mentors, continuing education, as well as tools. And I'm not an affiliate, but there's a tool that I absolutely love. It's called Lead Pages, but it allows you to do so many things. And something that just came up was lead digits. And like, not everybody's at their computer. Some people don't have computers, and they do what we're doing on a cell phone, a mobile phone. And if you can get them a text, and you have them opt in, that is an awesome deal. But the way I would have been if I wouldn't have understood reinvestment in myself, I would have tried to make this happen in a more complex and more time consuming way. So reinvestment is like my second one. I have two more. Reverse engineering. Alex says something about people ask, how can I market better? How can I get more traffic? How can I get more sales? And if we stop, just take a second to stop and look at how we are marketed to all the way to the end result, and reverse engineer you making a purchase all the way up to the point of initial contact, and try to be in that moment and write down how you felt, you could probably replicate that. And if you don't know exactly how to replicate that, I'm sure there's someone here on Blab, or maybe a course you can buy to help you, get on the right track in terms of that reverse engineering. And my last thing is fear of competition. And when we first start out, or when I first started out, some of the things I like to do, I like to talk about, like, why would I talk about photography? You got Scott Kilby, Joe McNally, Jared Poland, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, there's a lot of people who are interested in that. And even if I do sit here and cover something such as the exposure triad or something, in photography, the very same concepts that those other guys covered, there's a difference between me and them. And that's me, my perception, my life experiences. So those are four things that I'd say stand out the most. Knowing what your purpose is in every action that you take. And of course, you can have some free time, come on here and BS if you want, if that's good for your personal development. Reinvesting in yourself, reverse engineering, and fear of competition. So,
wow.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, that fear of competition is another. I mean, that's a big thing with my clients. Another thing is just recently in a group coaching session I had, one of my clients said, I don't want people knowing my business, right? So if they don't post on their personal page. And so I was like, think about what you just said. You don't want people all up in your business. If you don't share what you're doing because you're afraid that they're going to take it or steal it or whatever you think they're going to do, then you're not going to have a business. So that fear of competition, there is, again, I hate to keep harping on Grant Cardone. If you don't know him, please follow him, because he says there is no competition, right? You need to dominate the market so much that competition need to keep up with you. There is no competition. There's no such thing as competition out there as long as you're doing what you're doing with a purpose and with the domination that you can do in your business. So I totally agree with that. Competition, the reverse engineering your business, and I can't remember what the other two were, but really good point.
William, I have a real quick question for you, William. Typically, how do you begin to develop your call to action? What do you typically want your people who are just getting exposed to you? What do you want them to do when they come in contact with you typically?
Well, after an initial presentation, my goal is to make them want to delve a little bit deeper into whatever topic or niche that we're discussing or what I'm presenting. And the mechanisms could vary. An opt-in page, I go here and watch this video that may have an opt-in at the end that explains the concept deeper. And once I get them in that funnel, give them some more value, maybe 3 to 4 more videos. But on the first 3 videos, I don't ask for a sale. On the fourth video, I would ask for a sale, but I wouldn't ask for a sale. It wouldn't seem like I'm asking. What it would actually be, I'm not going to say seeing, what I actually would be doing was saying, hey, I only have a certain amount of time here. And if you guys really like what I've presented so far, I have something else over here. If you're interested, click here. And then they would go to the sell page. And that would basically force them to either commit or not commit. And those people who didn't commit, I still would provide value for a couple of months on down the road. But eventually, due to like AWeber and all that, you know, you have a certain limit of how many subscribers that you can have. Sure. And you have to say, you know, goodbye and I wish you the best to some people sometimes, because you do have a lot of people who are just out to get free information. And I don't have a problem with that at all, because I've gotten a lot of free information. But what I do realize is sometimes free information is more harmful than actually information that you have to pay for. You know, because that time you're searching the smorgasbord of free information, you could have made a lot of money so far. You know,
absolutely. And you know, I'll share with you another problem that I see with some people is, and this happens particularly when we go into networking organizations or networking events, or even when we go into places like Blab. That there are some people who are literally, you know, going from group to chat to group only for the purpose of just either shoving their marketing message or shoving their business card down someone's throat or in their hand. And I think that's a very bad approach to take. Pretty much like Walter was saying earlier, you know, this really does have to be about building relationships and trying to figure out where you can add value to people. Because at the end of the day, if it's just about, let me just come in and just tell you about who I am, what I do, and try to get you to buy, let me tell you, nobody likes that. No one likes that. So it really becomes a strategy of, let's figure out on Blab, in networking events, or wherever we are, where can we add value to people? Where can we help them solve some type of problem, issue, or challenge they're having, that we add so much value to what they do that they want to build, they want to have a business relationship with us, because their life has been enhanced or made better by something we've shared up until this point. So I think there's a great book called Go Giver. I think it's by Bruce Wilkinson, I think is his name. But the premise is we're looking not to go get, but to go give. And so when we take that approach, I think we're going to have a much, much better return when we look to build relationships and we look to add value to people.
Well, I agree.
So let me ask you, when I had a question and it totally forgot, but how do you deal with, oh shoot, I just forgot my question. Doggone it, I should have wrote it down.
Maybe they come back to you. If it comes back to you.
Yeah, that's the point that I was going to make.
Alex said, I agree 100% in terms of the giving, but I have to go get the audience or meet them where they're at.
Meet them, yes.
Yeah, meet them where they're at. Yeah. And, you know, it's a good idea to focus a lot on giving, but you also have to, in my opinion, I think is important, because all of these social medias, there's some code words or catchwords that are going around. Authenticity, give. Well, like you said before, you have to measure, how much do I give, or what is it that I give that gives me an effective return? And once I get that return, can I scale up my giving? And will I be the only one giving, or can I outsource some of that giving, as long as I identify a need? So yeah, focusing on giving is very, very important. But I think sometimes if that was said to maybe someone who's not familiar with commerce and how marketing works, they would think that it might not be important to have an infrastructure that addresses the receiving part. And receiving in this society, because it's not a utopian society yet, is very important for the sustenance of you, your family, and the lifestyle that you would like to have. So I think sometimes people may shy away from that part of the equation, but it's very, very, very important. So that's just
yeah.
Okay, I remember my question. Hold on. one of the mistakes that I know that a lot of new entrepreneurs start off with, or old or whatever, is that they go with their hunches. Like they go with what's in their gut. I want to ask you, William, how do you find out what clients and customers want before you create a product or service or whatever?
That is so weird, because my upcoming Blab is going to be how to get paid to create a profitable course. And I have that tendency to say, let's just say when you guys are just starting, we're going to do photography, and you want to know how to do the clean white background like Apple does, right? Well, before I show you, my thinking is this: before you learn how to do that, you need to know about light ratios and flagging off light and all this other stuff. But that's not what you want to know. You know, I shouldn't sit here and teach you the fundamentals of photography. I should just show you in the video exactly what you want. Now, how I find out if that's what an audience wants, or if there's people out there that want it, I would look at videos that are very popular on YouTube, look at the comments. I would go to groups on Google. I would go to groups on Facebook. I would go to photography blogs and look at all the questions that are being asked. And if you want to become a numbers man like Alex, you can make a spreadsheet and write down the different questions that are being asked, and then track the frequency of those questions and go arrange them from highest frequency to lowest, and start making content, video, PDF, or even just audio based on what you found. And you get into these forums, you interact with people, answer a few questions, and eventually people start to look at you or get familiar with you like we're doing here on Blab. And then you can say, hey, by the way, if you like what I've said so far, have a video on YouTube, or you can come back to my blog, or all you guys meet me on Blab and we're going to have a white background party. But the thing about white backgrounds is, once you've attracted them and given them what they've needed, they're going to try to do it. And there are so many different things that need to be taught or learned to replicate that every time you have a photo shoot. And that's when they want to go deeper. Some of them will want to go deeper. Some of them be like, oh, that's too complicated. Apple can keep that clean background. Yeah. So different groups. And I guess to sum that up is to listen. Go some places and just listen to, because you're going to have people come on here and they're going to ask you questions. And while they're asking you these questions, it's on the comments, in the comment box and questions, those can actually become courses. Now, the next step is to get paid before you even create that course. So you take all the information that you've gotten and you do a presentation, a webinar. And for those that it resonates to, a webinar or whatever, a Blab, for those that it resonates with, you let them know, you know what, I'm serious about this. I got all the skin in the game. I want you to put some skin in the game. I got an early bird list. If you're interested, boom, sign up. If not, I understand too. But know this, the early bird price is not going to be the same as the actual launch price. And I think that's fair, because I kind of think that's what Blab is doing with us. Although the currency at this point is our time, right? So those who are on here getting familiar, early adapters, pioneers, I think we may benefit from it later on. How, I don't know, but this isn't just for some fun. No one's coding and programming, just they don't have anything else to do, so.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Walter made a statement as, I tell everyone who wants to be successful, the only way you're going to fail is if you give up. Build your audience and your relationships. Help people with issues. Build your brand and find your voice. And Walter, high five. You're so right. Yeah.
I agree.
Build relationships.
Yep. So, I think, we've all can give testimony to, there are tons of mistakes that we've made when it comes to marketing. And there'll be tons of things that we'll probably make mistakes on in the future. And what we also find in the process is, while we did not get the results that we may have hoped for, that everything that we do, if we don't get a result, doesn't necessarily mean it's a mistake, right, as much as it's a learning lesson. And we might get, some seeds or some nuggets that you learn from one situation that you can implement and use in another. And so I think it's really key and important, like the gentleman, like Monty said earlier, that we just kind of keep pushing, and keep pushing the envelope, because there is someone out there who really needs and wants to hear our message and what we have. And it's our responsibility to go out there and share it with as many people as possible, because, of course, that's how we help them. And just like William said, that's how we get paid and get compensated as well.
Awesome. So we're trying to keep this blab to about 30 minutes.
Okay.
But before we close,
William, I want to thank you so much for your comments, man. You really, really enlightened us this evening. So I want to thank you for taking the time to call in.
My pleasure, you guys. Thanks for having me on here. All right.
And yeah, I hope to see you. We're going to do this every Tuesday at 7:30.
Every Tuesday at 7:30. Okay.
I love to hear about that white background.
Oh, okay. I'm following you. I'm following you on Twitter. I'll when I get it up, I'll shoot you a link. All right.
Awesome, William. Thank you so much, brother. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. That was a awesome blab tonight. Yeah, good. Monty, we had William, we had Walter, all giving us some awesome content. So, Alex, is there anything else you want to say before we end tonight's show?
I think the one thing I just want to say is I want to commend everyone who takes the risk of putting yourself out there in front of people who might be having a bad day, and they might snap your head off and tell you get the hell out of here. But I want to say hats off to everyone who continues to believe enough in themselves, their service, their product, and what they do, that they're continuing to want to go out there and share it with the world. And so I just want to commend everyone and tell everyone to keep pushing, keep pressing, and learn from every situation that you possibly have, and just continue to give and share and look for opportunities as much as possible.
Awesome. So we're going to end tonight's show with a last word from Monty. Monty say, take risks. And I say, take bigger and bigger risks. And that is the way that you're going to be super successful. So thank you, guys. I'm Alease Michelle, your social media and branding expert. And tonight we had
Alex B. Jones, salon industry expert and salon suite business coach.
All right. So have a great night, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Time. All right. Peace out.